All right, folks, this is stunning. Over the weekend, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth pulled a stunt so dangerous and reckless that even Fox News is daring to critically report on it. You see, the Trump administration was eager to fire live ammunition into the interior of the United States, specifically blue state California. Trump wants to fire guns at California, and over the objection of Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. Well, during this stupid demonstration, one of their explosive ordinances misfired, detonated prematurely, and rained deadly shrapnel, ironically, onto a cop car that was assigned to protect J.D. Vance, the man helping orchestrate this very stunt in the first place. And the only reason that more people weren't impacted is because, over the objection of the Trump administration, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom took the initiative to close that area off. This is, again, just a microcosm of how stupid and performative and dangerous the Trump administration really is. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, folks, let's take a look at the reporting on this. Concerning. A piece of metal shrapnel hit a California Highway Patrol car, CHP officials said, after an explosive ordnance detonated prematurely during a Marine Corps 250th anniversary event. No injuries were reported, again, due to sheer cosmic luck. As media reports, Newsom blasts reckless J.D. Vance after shrapnel hits vice president's motorcade during a Marine celebration. John Ismay says an artillery shell fired during a 250th anniversary celebration of the Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton on Saturday detonated prematurely over Interstate 5, damaging a California Highway Patrol vehicle on J.D. Vance's security detail. So again, endangering his own bodyguards. As Midas Touch reports, live munitions from a Trump-Vance military demo flew over I-5 and struck a CHP vehicle. The White House wanted the highway open, but Newsom shut it down for safety. That decision likely prevented injuries or worse. We have obtained these photos. Again, deadly shrapnel of explosive ordnance detonating prematurely because they just were so horny to shoot into the interior of California. The shrapnel that hit CHP vehicles over the weekend from Trump and Vance's military live munitions demonstration came from this ordnance. It's no small thing. This is what the White House thought was fine to fly over civilians on a major freeway. Thankfully, the governor closed it, and these are some of the explosive ordnance in question, and this is from California Governor Gavin Newsom's press office, okay? We're going to take a look at a more expansive New York Times article detailing this, but Midas Touch also has a map for visual detail. Here's a map showing the exact spot a CHP vehicle was struck by shrapnel after a shell detonated over I-5 during the Trump-Vance missile firings at Camp Pendleton, okay? Way off here. Ammunition fire at 1:46 p.m., approximate direction, and all the way over here at 1:46, same time, patrol vehicle hit by shrapnel. And this I-5, this is what the Trump administration said, yeah, keep it open. No problem. Millions of people could cross through it, no problem. Just keep it open. Everything's going to be fine. Bullshit, okay? So let's take a look. Artillery shell detonated over Interstate 5 during Marine celebration, California officials say. The mishap during an anniversary celebration for the Marine Corps attended by the Vice President and Defense Secretary, underscores safety concerns that Governor Gavin Newsom voiced before Saturday's events at Camp Pendleton. So again, I want to make it very clear. Newsom was like, hey, don't do this. Don't do live munitions. Don't shoot it into the interior of California. This is ridiculous. You're going to put people in danger. No, we're not. We got to shoot. We got to shoot things. It's going to be cool. We're going to do it in the blue state. And that was the Trump administration. I'm probably paraphrasing just slightly. The accent is absolutely accurate. And Newsom took leadership and took preventative measures. A 155 millimeter shell fired during a live fire demonstration for the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton on Saturday prematurely detonated, dropping fragments of the shell on a California Highway Patrol vehicle and motorcycle that were part of J.D. Vance's protective detail, according to a patrol report. No officers were hurt in the mishap, which dropped shrapnel onto the vehicles parked on a ramp to a major freeway that had been ordered closed by Governor Gavin Newsom. The governor had objected to the plan to fire over the freeway, Interstate 5, and ordered a 17-mile stretch closed against the guidance of military officials who said it was safe for it to remain open. So, point for Newsom, 0 points for the Trump administration. Newsom was right and smarter, and the Trump administration fucked up. According to the patrol report, one officer described what sounded like pebbles hitting his motorcycle and the area around him, and 2 others saw a 2-inch piece of shrapnel hit the hood of their patrol vehicle, leaving a dent. The report says shrapnel was also found on the road near the motorcycle. And again, some people in MAGA are like, that's no big deal. That could easily have killed people. especially when you consider the traffic congestion involved. Instead of just a couple of a patrol motorcycle and a patrol vehicle, imagine hundreds, dozens, thousands of cars going through these things. 2-inch shrapnel can absolutely injure and kill. Newsom had the foresight to be like, maybe this isn't a good idea. And the Trump administration, no, we got to flex our muscles and shoot into blue cities and blue states. That's how they think, because they're really dumb. Newsom had warned that the Marine Corps' plans to fire artillery shells over Interstate 5, the West Coast main north-south artery, could pose hazards for motorists on the stretch between Los Angeles and San Diego. Closure he ordered on Saturday caused significant backups on the portion of the interstate, which is used by approximately 80,000 people daily. Quote, we love our Marines and we owe a debt of gratitude to Camp Pendleton, but next time, the Vice President and the White House shouldn't be so reckless with people's lives for their vanity projects, said Newsom in a statement to the New York Times. Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay Perrick, a spokeswoman for the 1st Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton, said the Corps was aware of the report of a possible airborne detonation and an investigation was underway. Quote, we are committed to determining the incident's root cause and applying findings to future missions, she said. The statement did not provide additional detail on the munitions used during the exercise. A spokesman for Vance declined to comment. Okay, right there. So you have the Trump administration trying to duck and run from this. They're like, no comment. Sure, we're making fun of Newsom. Said, no, it's no big deal. We gotta shoot our ammo into the interior. And then when this shit happens, he is nowhere to be found. Tumbleweed. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. According to the report filed by the California Highway Patrol, the artillery round was fired at 1:46 p.m. from White's Beach, approximately 3/4 of a mile south of Las Pulgas Road, where the Highway Patrol officers were parked after escorting Vance to the event. The exercise, which the report said was expected to include the firing of approximately 60 155mm shells, was terminated after the round prematurely exploded. So here's how you also know that this is a big fucking deal, okay? Don't let MAGA gaslight you. Because the second this happened, they were like, oh, cut it off. If it's no big deal, why didn't you continue? So again, Newsom was 100% right. The Trump administration was 100% wrong. There is no middle ground here. There's no areas of gray. There's no ambiguity. Democrats were right. Republicans were wrong. Newsom is smart. Trump is a moron, always and forever. The demonstration was part of a larger exercise marking the Corps' 250th anniversary, attended by Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. And again, you're entitled to do events if you want, but why do you have to shoot live munition into the interior of the country, particularly in a blue state? Sure seems like an authoritarian flex where you guys are really eager to just shoot guns at Democrats, liberals, progressives, and others. The decision to fire live artillery shells from Oceanfront Training Area was described as unusual by an active-duty Marine artillery officer and a former Marine artillery non-commissioned officer who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they feared reprisals. So that's the other thing. The people who actually do this shit are like, yeah, this is silly. This is ridiculous. This is unusual. And we have to speak anonymously because if we voice that, then Donald Trump will probably fire us. He'll probably court-martial us, right? Those Marines said only the howitzer training that they'd previously observed at Camp Pendleton had taken place at an approved artillery ranges on the main side of the base, east of the interstate, which they said were much safer options for training. So there you have it, folks. I want to show a couple of other things, though. One of Donald Trump's official responses, this is stunning, right? After all that came down, the best they could come up with was a spelling error by Gavin Newsom's press office. First of all, it's ordnance, you buffoons. An ordinance is an authoritative decree, so it makes sense you confuse the two. Secondly, it was allegedly shrapnel, not ordnance, that left a tiny dent scratch on the vehicle's hood. God bless our great Marines. To which Newsom's press office responded, we make a spelling mistake. You make deadly mistakes. By the way, thanks for admitting you lied to Americans. Live munitions were fired over a public freeway, putting civilians needlessly in harm's way. So again, it's just objectively true. Newsom was 100% correct, not 50%, not 60%, not 98%. He is absolutely correct because he's objectively smarter than Vance or Trump, and Vance and Trump were wrong, then lied, and then admitted to it in their attempt to get a gotcha in their desperation. In response to Ron Filipkowski, shouldn't J.D. Vance say thank you to Gavin Newsom for saving lives during his TikTok filming session? Governor Newsom's press office says he's too busy with the couch. It's a pretty funny reference there. And if you look, Governor Newsom's press office all day has been humiliating Trump and Vance and the Trump administration over their lies in this respect. So again, and going back and fact-checking people who were like, Newsom shouldn't close the I-5. It's not necessary. And of course, then this happened. Then the explosive ordnance prematurely detonated. And now Governor Newsom's press office is going back and finding these people and quoting. So sure, it looks like you were wrong and you put people in danger, and Newsom was right, and maybe you should just shut up and people should trust Newsom over you all because you're liars, Trump administration, California Republicans, Republican politicians, maybe. So pretty insane stuff. And again, a microcosm of how terrible the Trump administration is, how incompetent they are, how reckless they are. And again, it says something that even Fox News is like, yeah, this is concerning. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.